What's up everybody, Jill here. I am in my kitchen this morning and I am making a snack for the girls, and I wanted to just show you guys how quick and easy this process is if you have some fruit that's about to go bad. So we're kind of notorious for buying bananas and not eating them in enough time, and granted I could feed that to the pigs, but I don't want to be just buying bananas to feed the pigs. And so one thing we like to do is freeze dry our fruit that has over ripened to make nice little snacks for the kids. So you can see here I do have my bananas that were a bit overripe, and I'm actually going to take that and compost that. Banana peels are really good for your garden. And then what I have here are my trays. I did put parchment paper on here. So I did go to the Harvest Right website. They said that you did not have to pre-freeze your bananas, and they didn't have a tendency of sticking, so you didn't really need the parchment paper. But I have freeze-dried bananas in the past, and I have found that it is helpful to have parchment paper because it makes it easier to get them off of. And then I do like to go ahead and pre-freeze just because I think it kind of quickens the time that it is in the freeze dryer. So I'm going to do the 2 trays of bananas. I have 2 trays of okra, and then I'm going to go ahead and just do another tray because that's the amount of bananas I had, and I'll leave this one in the freezer until I'm putting something else in the freeze dryer, and then I'll do that as well. So it's pretty typical that I have just random trays of either fruits or vegetables in my freezer, waiting until I have enough to pack out that freeze dryer before I'm running it for 24, 27, 30 hours, depending on what it is. So let's finish putting these on here, and then we'll go pop them in the freezer. So I try to cut my bananas pretty thin. Same with any, like if I'm doing a tomato or a cucumber or something like that. If I'm doing it in slices, the thinner that you are able to cut it, the faster that it's going to freeze dry. Now okra takes a bit longer because we're just freeze drying like the whole little okra pods. And so there are some things that you just have to account for that it's going to take a bit longer. But if you can try to get them thin, it's just going to be, it's just going to speed up that process. And then what we do for us, we're not thinking about doing this for like food preservation. This is just a way that we are creating a snack for our kids with things that would have rotted and we would have had to throw away anyways. So we're not putting these in the Mylar bags or anything like that. They go in a big quart mason jar. We do put one of the little oxygen packets in there with it just so it stays fresh, but usually the kids are eating this up pretty quickly. So I'm going to pop this in the freezer, and then I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow and we can see what they look like. Alright, so before I pop the banana chips in here, there is one thing you need to do. There is a valve on the side of our freeze dryer that I had to close, and then you'll come over here and you'll just hit start. And so essentially it's just like warming it up. So it says wait 15 minutes before loading your tray. So I'll set a timer and I'll just go in here and load all the stuff up. Alright, so Nathan said I technically said it's warming up, but that's actually not the correct terminology. So give us a rundown of what's actually happening in this 15 minutes.
So when you press start, essentially what it does is it cools down to like instead of preheating an oven, you are pre-cooling your freeze dryer. So it gets down to I forgot what it is, 20 degrees or below. I forgot. Then you stick your stuff in there.
So now we're just waiting.
We're pre-cooling it.
We're pre-cooling. And then I did pop these in the freezer like I had mentioned, so they're nice and frozen, and then they'll just go straight into the freeze dryer. Alright you guys, it is the next day and our freeze-dried okra and banana chips are ready. I'm gonna grab it with a towel because this will burn you quite a bit. So kind of the key for this is to make sure you get everything off of the tray and transferred to either your Mylar bag, or in this instance I'm using a mason jar, before the tray starts to defrost. So we're gonna quickly whoa, those are so good. I'm gonna quickly throw these into my mason jar here. So one thing that is important is you need this oxygen absorber. So this needs to go in anything, like no matter if you're preserving it in the Mylar bags that come from Harvest Right, if you're doing it like I am here in a mason jar, I just have it stuck in here. Now with the okra, it's a little different because Nathan plans on eating the okra before the week's up. So we're just gonna stick that in a reusable baggie, and we're not gonna stick it in there because the idea there isn't for preservation. It was just a way that we preferred to have a snack. So this is pretty full. I've got a few scragglers here, so I'll just feed those to the kiddos. So 2 trays made a quart jar. Now I will save the parchment paper, so I'll be able to reuse these because I've kind of cut them specific to these trays. These are kind of longer, slender trays. So I'll keep those there. And then here is what the okra looks like, which is a great little snack. And we've just got a little bag here. We'll pop those in there. All right, and then we have a pretty full bag of okra here. Now is the time when I would season them or salt them if you wanted to season them. So we could just take some like sea salt and sprinkle in there and shake it around really good. Or even if you were wanting to preserve this for the longevity, you could also just season it really good. All right, so the moment of truth, I'm gonna go grab my kiddos, see what they think about these, and see if it was even actually worth my time after all.
One for you, one for you.
All right, y'all try it and tell Mom what you think.
Oh my gosh.
June, what you think? Is it good? You give me a thumbs up? All right, Dad, so now you try the okra and tell me what you think.
I want you to hear this crunch.
Okay. Whoa. There's no salt or seasoning or anything on there.
It really doesn't need it, but I am gonna put some, probably some garlic, Squisitos olive oil, and some of that Redmond salt.
Yeah, so good. Alrighty, so I have put a lid on this. This will go in the pantry. My favorite thing to do with the freeze dryer is honestly stuff like this right here, like bananas that are about to go bad. We go through so much fruit, but we're buying a lot of bananas, oranges, grapes, and strawberries. Like that's kind of our haul when we're going to buy groceries. So it never fails. By the time the kids finish eating one of the fruits, another one of the fruits is on the verge of just like going bad. Now we can feed that to our pigs, but for me, if I've got the time, this is perfect to freeze dry those. So those grapes, you've got the bananas, the strawberries, specifically, those are the ones that I'm always taking the leftovers right before they go bad and freeze drying it. Another thing I love doing is the leftovers. We are kind of the, you know, we always have enough leftovers, but we don't eat them within like a week or so before they go bad. And so we have got a lot of freeze dryer meals that we've intentionally cooked more of to have leftovers. That way we could freeze dry them, reconstitute them on a night that we're really busy. But if you're looking for a quick, easy snack, just to use up food that's about to go bad, the banana chips, the strawberry chips, all of that's really great. And then of course, if you are out your ears in okra right now, pop that thing in the freeze dryer. These just make for really great, healthy, quick snacks. And then if you want just the shelf life on them, you know that we could stick these in those Mylar bags that Harvest Right has, and then we've got 25-year shelf life, and that's pretty impressive. So hope this quick video is helpful, maybe give you guys some other ideas what to do with some of your fruit that's about to go bad, or maybe if you're just in the bounty of harvesting from your garden. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you soon.